What's going on, my people? Welcome back. It's prediction time, it's goals time, it's please don't ruin my slip in the 89th minute time. We've got a tasty little card today, and the vibe is simple. We are hunting that over 1.5 life, not asking for 5 goals in a pitch invasion, just 2 little goals, 2 respectful goals, 2 goals that mind their business. So let's get into it. First up, Real Madrid against Manchester City. Honestly, this fixture doesn't need hype. It arrives with its own movie trailer. UEFA's preview frames it as yet another heavyweight knockout clash between 2 recent European giants, and recent reports have this one carrying serious star power again. City brought a traveling squad with Pep giving updates on fitness, while preview coverage points to injury concerns and lineup management on both sides, which usually means a little instability and a lot of elite attackers trying to solve the chaos. And that's exactly the feeling here. When these two see each other, the match never feels calm. It feels expensive. It feels dramatic. It feels like somebody's going to score a worldie and somebody else is going to make a face like they've just seen their Wi-Fi bill. Madrid at home usually play with that main character energy, and City are still City. Even when they wobble while creating danger. So for this pick, over 1.5 at 1.20 feels like the sensible cousin of madness. I'm not trying to predict the entire football universe here. I'm just saying with Mbappe and friends on one side, Haaland and company on the other, 2 goals is a very fair request. This game has glamour, tension, and just enough defensive uncertainty to make the over feel cozy. Next, PSG against Chelsea. Now this one has a different flavor. UEFA's preview has PSG coming in as holders, Chelsea heading to Paris for a serious test, and the team news chatter says Chelsea are close to full strength, with some injury boosts and key players back in the mix. A couple of reports still mention absences around the squad, but the general mood is that Chelsea have enough weapons available to make this spicy. The vibe here is very designer jacket over hidden stress. PSG at home in Europe are never exactly shy, and Chelsea in these big nights tend to either grow up very fast or start doing comedy in their own box. Either way, it helps the goals angle. There's attacking quality all over this game, and there's also that emotional weirdness you get in first-leg knockout ties where everyone says they'll be careful, and then somebody scores, and the whole thing opens like a supermarket door. Over 1.5 at 1.19 feels strong. I'm not asking Chelsea to be perfect. I'm not asking PSG to be polite. I'm just asking for 2 goals in Paris, which feels like ordering coffee in a cafe. Very normal. Then we've got Bodo Glimt against Sporting CP. Now this is the hipster gourmet pick on the coupon. UEFA's preview and other match reports paint Bodo Glimt as the fairy tale side, bringing Champions League knockout football to Norway, and Sporting come in with some real squad issues. Suspensions and injuries have been mentioned in preview coverage, including absences around key options. That matters, because missing pieces can make teams less controlled, and less controlled is music to the ears of over 1.5 enjoyers. And the vibe? Cold night, noisy ground, weird things happen, composure gets left in the dressing room. Bodo Glimt at home are one of those teams that can make perfectly respectable opponents look like they've forgotten where they parked the car. Sporting still have quality, but the squad news suggests they may not be at their smoothest. That often creates a game with moments instead of structure. One transition, one set piece, one defensive slip, one goalkeeper screaming at everyone. Beautiful stuff. Over 1.5 at 1.21 feels very playable. This has annoyingly fun written all over it. Now let's slide into Belgium, Jong Gent against Lommel SK. This one doesn't have the Champions League glamour, but it absolutely has the random midweek game that saves the ticket energy. Available previews and match listings show Lommel higher in the table than Gent's reserve side, with recent head-to-head info and prediction models leaning toward Lommel having the stronger hand. The feeling here is simple. Reserve team football can be messy in the best possible way. Young legs, brave decisions, occasional tactical chaos, and defending that can look like everybody got the group project instructions at different times. Lommel come in with the better standing. Gent U23 can still be lively, and that combination often gives you exactly what you want for an over 1.5 pick, a match that doesn't stay sterile for too long. At 122, I like it. It feels like the kind of game where one goal turns into a second because suddenly everyone remembers they have emotions. And finally, Middlesbrough against Charlton. The previews here point to Middlesbrough being up near the top end of the championship table, while Charlton are dealing with multiple injury concerns. Team news coverage flags missing players on both sides, but especially enough for Charlton that this doesn't exactly scream defensive comfort. The vibe is proper championship chaos, which I say with love and a little fear. Midweek under the lights, promotion pressure, tired legs, and one team knowing it really should handle business. Middlesbrough have that we need points and we need them now pressure, and Charlton feel like a side that could still nick something or at least contribute to the noise. Over 1.5 at 1.24 works for me because this has that classic second-tier English feeling. Not always elegant, rarely boring, and usually one bad clearance away from becoming a much more fun watch. So that's the card. Real Madrid versus Manchester City over 1.5, PSG versus Chelsea over 1.5, Bodo Glimt versus Sporting CP over 1.5, Jong Gent versus Lommel SK over 1.5, and Middlesbrough versus Charlton over 1.5. Nice prices, strong goal vibes, and just enough football drama to keep the blood pressure educational. Let's see if the ball behaves, let's see if the finishers remember their job descriptions, and let's pray nobody decides today is the perfect day to become allergic to scoring. Good luck, bet smart, enjoy the games, and I'll catch you in the next.